Okay, so you're inside Fusion, you're going to grab a background node, connect it to your media out, and set it to whatever colour you want your background to be. Palish pink. Two elements to the first couple of seconds. There's the rectangle boxes and there's the blue lines. So we'll do the rectangle boxes first. Grab a background, change the colour to white, grab a rectangle, pipe it into the blue mask of your background, come to the inspector, uncheck solid, add a bit of border width and make the rectangle width and height 1. A bit more border width to that. Select your background, shift spacebar, duplicate. Put your duplicate in the inspector, make sure it's selected. Put the copies 10 and then the size reduce until you get this sort of effect. And then you want to play with the angle to kind of get this sort of effect. Finally, select the duplicate, click and add a transform, and in the transform node you want to play with the angle. Put your transform node in the viewer, play with the angle like so, set edges to wrap, and then you can just adjust the size so you've got your starting point that you want somewhere around there. Come to frame 0. In your transform node, keyframe angle and size, and in your duplicate node, keyframe size and angle. Come to frame 72, do the same for both. Back to frame 0, no, at frame 72, sorry. Transform, you're going to reset the angle back to 0, and in the duplicate you're going to reset angle to 0, and then in the transform node we're going to increase the size till we've just got the middle square like so, and now you get that effect. So that is your rectangles, and if we just tidy this up a bit, and then take the output of your transform onto your background, and if you watch in the right hand window, where you go. What you can also do is if you come to your rectangle, you can soften the edge a little bit just to blur it off. And there you go. So that's your tunnel, square, rectangle thing, whatever you want to call it. Blue lines. Blue lines come below the white lines but above your background, so I'm going to put them here in the sort of, if you imagine the background is your bottom layer, going right comes further up, so we want our blue lines below our rectangle, so over here. So blue lines, take a background node, put it in the viewer, change it to whatever blue you want your blue lines to be. Take a polygon node, don't connect it to your background yet. With your polygon node selected, put 2 dots on your screen, come up to your bar at the top here and select modify only. Right click or left click and drag to select both the nodes, then right click come to polygon 1, polyline, publish and points. What this does is it adds the coordinates for the 2 points here. In X, you're going to type 0.03 for both. And in Y, you're going to type 1 and 0. And now if we view this, we've got our line here. Now if we connect it to our background and view the background, we can't see anything until we uncheck solid and add a little bit of border width like so. So now we're going to select the background, shift spacebar, duplicate. With the duplicate in the window, I'm going to type 15 for the copies, and we're going to slowly drag the X center to bring out all the copies till it's kind of balanced out there. Next, select your duplicate and again click on transform. Now with this transform, we're going to keyframe the angle. So come to frame 0, keyframe angle, and put your angle where you want. Come to edges and again select wrap. Now come frame 72 or wherever, depending on the beat of your music, and bring the angle back so that it's just past vertical. Final thing with the polygon, come to frame 0, make sure your polygon is selected, keyframe border width and set it to 0, then come to frame 72 and make the border width whatever you want it to be. Like so. So now output from your transform onto your background and view your output, and you get the same effect as the start of your video. Just let it cache on the edit tab. Away you go.